Hello. You got some plants to look at? Cause I don't want to film myself. I look really ugly today. So. Okay. I want to share where I think, well, my understanding of the timeline. Hopefully you can hear me because it's raining. So I believe that, well, we are in the beginning of sorrows now. And after the beginning of sorrows, the sign of the Son of Man is seen in heaven. And then he sends his angels to collect his elect from the four winds. Now this is the sixth seal. So at the sixth seal, when the sign of the Son of Man is seen in heaven, the stars fall, the sun and moon are darkened, or the moon turns to blood, and there is a great shaking or an earthquake. And then the men hide in the caves, and they say, "Rocks fall on us from the face of the Lamb, because the day of his wrath has come." And then after that, he sends his angels before any hurt comes to the trees and the earth, and he sends his angels to seal his elect, the 12 tribes of Israel. So I believe this is all the same thing. So I believe we are in the beginning of sorrows, and that we have seen the first 5 seals open. I'll just say, if there's a frog in a pot, right, and the pot is being slowly brought to a boil, but the frog kind of adjusts with its temperature, so it doesn't actually know it's like going to be boiled to death. That's kind of like what's happened in our world, because things have been progressively getting worse. We've kind of been adjusting, and we're like the frog in the pot, and we haven't been able to really see everything that's been happening around us and how these things are actually happening. But if you remove the frog out of the pot, or if we stand outside the pot, we can see that that the beginning of sorrows is happening. Then I believe at seal 7 is when God's wrath begins and the devil's ruling begins, which is Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation, which will be 3.5 years. So it's for times, and half a time. And at this time, the 2 witnesses will preach for 1,260 days. And in Daniel it says this time is for 1,290 days, and blessed is he that cometh and wait till the 1,335 days, I think it is. But that's exactly 3.6 years. So I believe that the 7 Jesus comes in the midst, and he's in the middle of the 7 candlesticks. He is the 4th candlestick. He is the door, and he was in the midst of the crosses when he was crucified, and he's in the middle of lots of things. So I believe he comes after the beginning of sorrows, but before Jacob's trouble, to collect his elect. He comes like in the days of Noah and Lot, when things are still relatively normal, people are still eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, building and things, and it catches them off guard. The sign of the Son of Man will be seen. He will be seen in the clouds when everything is still somewhat normal. And then after this, after Jacob's trouble, which is 3.5 years, he will come with his saints in the clouds and his army, and that's the second coming. There's 10 virgins. 5 are wise and 5 are foolish. The 5 wise have oil in their lamps, and they are watching, and they are aware of the time. And the 5 foolish proclaim to know him, but they're not aware of the time, and they don't have oil in their lamps. They're not ready. So he comes and he takes his 5 wise to the wedding. That's why he tells us to watch, to stay sober. For if the good man of the house had known and watched the thief would come, he would have watched and would have not have suffered his house to be broken up. So that day will not catch him off guard because he's watching. Pray that you are worthy to escape all the things that are coming upon this earth. I think that's what it says. We are not appointed to wrath. I believe if you were not ready and you were lost but become found during Jacob's trouble, and you refuse the mark of the beast and the devil's system, then you will rule with Christ for 1,000 years in the new earth. You will be a tribulation saint. And the mark of the beast is here. The mark of the beast is here, guys. It's already set up. It's already in play. The Lord told me really quite strongly to tell people not to take the vaccine that comes out for this virus. He told me to tell people it is the mark of the beast. Now, I'm not 100% sure how it's all going to play out yet, but that's what he said. If you refuse this mark, if you refuse this vaccine, you will not be able to buy and sell. You will be not able to use public transport. You will not be able to work. You will not be able to go back to this normal that, yeah. If you get this mark for temporary comfort, that comfort will be taken from you, and you'll never have comfort again. So, things are not going to go back to normal like they were. This is the end times, and Jacob's trouble is upon us. I believe we are just waiting on the 6th seal. That trumpet is about to sound, and the Son of Man will come in the clouds, and he will gather together his elect, and they will meet him in the clouds. And then Jacob's trouble for 3.5 years. Yeah. He just, if you were lost but become found during Jacob's trouble because you weren't ready, he has chosen you. He has chosen you from the beginning of the foundation of the world. And you are his. You are already his. You were destined to be his. And he will carry you through everything. In your heart, he will carry you through. It says, he who seeks to save his life will lose it, and he who loses his life for my sake will find it. Remember, this life is temporary. And if you choose him, it's unimaginable how much glory and beauty and your reward will be great. For those of us who are his and will be his one day soon, this place is not our home. He has a home for us that we simply couldn't, it'll be beyond anything here. Imagine a new earth with no sin, no corruption, no darkness, no hate, no pain. He will wipe away every tear from your eye. He loves you. So yeah, just to recap, I'm human and I see through a glass dimly, so never completely just trust another human. You always read the scripture and you always take it to the Lord, and he does give us all different parts of the puzzle, and if we listen to each other we can kind of put the bits together, but always take it to him. We were born for a time. We were born for this time. He has you in the palm of his hand. So we are in the beginning of sorrows. After the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, the moon will not give its light, the stars will fall from heaven, the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. I'm just trying to remember it. Then will he send his angels to gather his elect from the four winds. Blessed are those who are watching. Then Jacob's trouble. Then he will come back, his second coming with his saints and his army, and he will put an end to all this evil once and for all. It needed to play out because we needed to understand where that leads to. Okay. I think that's... Oh my gosh, I'm tired. Okay. Calling all 5 wise virgins. That trumpet's about to sound. Everyone thought Noah was a crazy when he was building his ark. No one listened to him. I'm crazy for Jesus. I'm a crazy nut. It's okay. I love you guys. See ya.